Welcome to a video from thedigital-lifestyle.com. This is a new sound collection for Korg Wavestate SE native version, all the versions. This is a sample pack of custom multi-poly sample of sounds. So what I did is I've created a whole set of multi-poly sounds. It's available if you've got a multi-poly. You can download them from thedigital-lifestyle.com, some free, some premium. And this set is samples of those sounds and waveforms that I've then converted Korg format, brought into the Wavestate, and then created programs and performances to go with those. So it's a complete custom set of samples and performances, programs and performances, all based on custom multi-poly sounds. So you're thinking analog synth sounds, digital synth sounds, recreations of classic synth sounds, all in this pack. So there's two versions available. There's the free version, which is a small subset, and then there's the full set, which includes all the samples, multi-samples as well. So I done all these as multi-samples. So if you want to load these into your Wavestate, towards the end of the video, I'll show you about that. But for now, I'm going to demonstrate the sounds, and so you can have a listen and see what we've got. So this is the collection. We've got, I think there's about 40 separate samples that I've done, and they're all multi-samples. So I'll go through them in the order they appear here on the editor. And this one is a 3 oscillator Moog sound, created on the multi-poly. Most of them support poly Aftertouch and mod, and there's some splits, and there's some sequencing as well going in. Most of them are the samples. So here you can hear that sample. So that's a single layer. If I thought to show you in the editor, these are some of them use wave sequencing, a lot are just a simple ones, a single sample. You can then use these in your own performances. So there you can see that's the multi-poly one. Then this one is a 4 oscillator lead. So that one was built on the multi-poly, combining 4 oscillators to create that sound. So this is called Aftertouch pad, which is a nice analog pad, but if you use the Aftertouch, and because it's poly Aftertouch, you can control which note gets the filter opens up on. Or you can just use it as a nice pad. If you haven't got a poly Aftertouch keyboard, you can open up the filter with the mod wheel. Just really nice, usable Aftertouch type pad sound. So this one is analog drums. I created a set of analog drums for the multi-poly, so I've sampled those. So I've split them across the keyboard. So you've got a kick, a kind of synth tom, and then a hi-hat up at the top, so you can sort of read that kind of thing. So there's nice analog drum sounds. Another analog sound, this is analog piano. So I created an analog piano sound on the multi-poly, and it's great. Doesn't really sound like a piano, but it's not really meant to. It's analog piano. So it's kind of those analog pianos that you would have had in the 70s. Most of these have got some basic effects on them as well. Another analog one, this is analog voices. Again, nice sort of analog sound on there. So this one is a wavetable one. So I sampled the analogical wavetable. So, it's a patch based on the analogical wavetable. Now the next ones are ones I created for the analog ARP set, ARP, the ARP Odyssey. And so I created those as a full set, and I've sampled some of those. So you've got a traditional English horn from an ARP Odyssey recreated on the multi-poly. Poly Aftertouch as well. But it's kind of vocal texture to it. Similar lines, Fuzz Guitar, it's from the ARP Pro Soloist. Actually, the other one's from the Pro Soloist as well. So I recreated the Pro Soloist sound. I used one of the emulators, VSTs for the Pro Soloist. Recreated that pretty closely on the multiplier and then sampled that. Of course, on the originals, they're monophonic or duophonic, and I left them as polyphonic here because we're sampling them. We've got a harpsichord. We've got a nice harpsichord. So that's the ARP harpsichord. This one called Prog lead, because based on another ARP Odyssey lead, I think this one. You can hear it's got pitch envelope on there, resonance. And a pitch sweep one. And this one is another ARP. This is a Pro Soloist pitch sweep. Synthi Bass. You saw a lot of sounds called Synthi in the 70s, and this is for Pro Soloist. So it's got that kind of a hollow square wave type sound. And this one is a PWM sound, pulse width modulation sound I made on the multi-poly. So big, nice pad sound there. Simple brass. Simple brass sound. Classic strings. That's some classic synth strings. Comic Wow is actually a preset on the Pro Soloist. So I recreated that on the multi-poly, and then this is what you hear. This one, completely different, Crossmod Bells. So I was working from Crossmod Bells type sounds, and I thought they would be nice for the Wavestate. It's very clangy, but would make something interesting in, say, a wave sequence where you can incorporate those sort of effects with perhaps with the other wave sequences, the other bell type tones in the Wavestate. And that's deep bass. And then we've got a drum kit. Now this one I think does use some sequencing and some layers. So you can incorporate those. So you can see on the editor that I'm using a couple of layers, and I'm using the drum sounds that I played earlier. So I've just sampled, sequenced those samples. So this one, DW 12 string, is actually based on a recreation of the DW 8000 12 string. DW 8000 here. I recreated that on the multi-poly because all the wavetables are in there, so you can really get very close to a DW with the multi-poly. And one of the sounds I really liked was the 12 string. If you're interested in DW samples direct from the DW, then let me know and I can have a look at doing that. A DW choir, so same principle. So this is actually a recreation of one of the presets from the DW. Recreated and then sampled. And same with this EP. Quite a nice usable EP, this. All the looping's been done on all these, by the way, as well. We've got a DX bell. And you hear looping on there. So this is a DX type bell on the multi-poly. I did a video on how to create these and I've sampled that. This is called Filter Bass. Nice sort of deep bass sound. And Miny Bass. Sort of a Jan Hammer type bass sound. And then the same one into a sequence. So sort of a Miny Bass type Jan Hammer type sequence using the Miny Bass sound. And that sequence is using the wave sequencing. So when we've got a big lead, so this is another recreation of sound. So this is, I created a monopoly lead sound on the multipoly and sampled that. So the monopoly is kind of the inspiration for the multipoly, and that's what you can hear on there. So this is actually, I listened to a monopoly, recreated it for the multipoly, and then sampled that. And the same goes for this one. Using a bit of sequencing, the wave sequence, to create an octave bass. A nice pad. Power brass. And now some PPG sounds. The PPG ones, I've got the original PPG wavetables, imported them into the multipoly, created the sounds, and then made a set for them, and these are samples of those. Took a nice digital character to those. A Vox. So a PPG patch called Almost Vox. I've recreated that. PPG Bell. And they sound really good sequence, those PPG sounds. A Horizon, another preset. And then a set of PPG. So what I've done here is create a wave sequence based on some of those PPG sounds. And here you hear the drums just using regular samples. This one's called PPG Soundtrack, again one of the presets. And a Resonant synth now. A simple sound. Resistance plant. So using wave sequencing and multi-layers on there. So making use of those samples and sequencing them. And SEM filter. You can hear the dual filters there. This is a split one. So this one is called Wave Sequencer, and it is literally going through the sequence, the samples. Just to show you what you kind of thing you can do with the wave sequences. You can see them there. I'm just cycling through them. And we've got 2 layers on this one as well. Oh, we've got the extra So pad on the top. And then we've got a template. This is just what I use all my packs just to have that ready. So that's the sounds. So all those samples they're all there in the user samples. So all these are user samples. And then you can make your own programs or performances. There's the performances, there's the programs as well. So you can load those in and make your own multi-layers. So I'll switch over to the other screen, or I'll switch back to my desk, and I'll just talk about how we can put those into the Wavestate. Okay, so let's have a look now how we get these samples into the Wavestate. So what you can see here is I've got sample builder, so you'll need the Korg sample builder. So make sure you download that. And then this is a sample set I give you. It's so you can go to your sample builder, go to Open Bank, and look for the ID MP samples that you just should have unzipped. So unzip that, and you'll see the files like that. Now, this is where you pay attention, because this is important now. What you do, you can pick your device. So I'll pick the Wavestate. If I sent that down now, that would remove all the samples that are in the Wavestate already, not the factory ones, all the custom ones. So if you say you use my Fairlight set, it would wipe them and replace it with these. If you don't want to do that, then you need your own master set. So I'll show you how to do that. So if you haven't had any custom samples at all, then this is fine. Just send the bank and it will do it, but it will remove everything. If you want to keep what you've got, you need your own bank. So what I do is I have my own bank called ID samples, and this has got all my custom samples in there. So all the ones, Fairlight, D110, the TX7, all those. So what you then do, in the zip file that I gave you, when you've downloaded that and opened that, you can then add a multi-sample, browse for the multi-samples. So here's some that I've created earlier. So in this case, the MP one. Pick the MP one. You can actually pick the first one and pick the last one like that, using the shift, hold down shift, multi-select them and do that. And they'll bring those in like that. So now if you look on my bank, I know they were already in there, but they won't be in there twice, but they're there now. So this is my master bank. You can see it's using a lot more space, and I've got loads of stuff. And if I hit send bank now, that will send all them down. So all those samples, so I don't erase anything. You can't extract them from there. So it's always important to keep a master set in the sample builder and then send them down. So that's the samples. For the performances, then that's pretty straightforward. That's if you've used the multi-poly, the Wavestate before, that's just a question of going to the Librarian, going to File, Import, find the zip file, find the Wavestate file that was in the zip file, and just double click on that and load that in, and you'll see them there. But do the samples first and then load these in. Okay, so that's how you can import them. That's the sound collection. They're available at thedigitalLifestyle.com. There's a link in the video. The free version, because of these samples, it's really complicated. I'm just going to do a couple of samples just to give you a flavor of it. But the premium version includes all the samples that are demonstrated, all the programs, and all the performances. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you've got any more suggestions for videos and samples and things like that, let me know, and I'll see you on the next one.